And how's it going, Gore Hounds? Welcome to the Gore More podcast. I am your not so mean Fluff Master Supreme, Big Johnny D, bringing this shit show in. However, I don't bring this shit show in alone. For with me, as always, are my beloved horror homies. Starting it off with that Chad Daddy, that Dark Lord of Knowledge, all the way down from the Chattahoochee, Mr. Chad Christmas.
What's up, bitches?
Woo! I did not mean to do that, but that's okay. He's excited to be here. And we have that killing machine. But we like to know, we know him as that Meat Mountain, Mr. Bobby Amone.
How you doing? I'll give you some meat.
Oh, today is April 22nd, 2024, and we have a very talkative episode today, I feel.
Oh, yes.
And yeah, it's not to jump super into it, but it's a movie that none of us have seen.
Right.
And so that's why I feel like it's going to be a very, very, how do I want to say this? It's going to be a very, deep dive, I feel, into this one. It's something where, you know, even though other movies that we've seen multiple times and we can look at it from different angles and stuff, this is a first-time watch. But we also all feel kind of unanimous with this as well, not getting into it. So, you know, why we feel that way and such, we have a very good discussion. But before we do that, we're going to do what we always do and talk about what we did last week. By the way, I didn't even fucking mention it, but we're talking Dead Ringers 1998. Jesus Christ. I did all that shit. So, yeah, Cronenberg, I guess.
And in case you haven't noticed, we are only a trio tonight.
Yes, we are lacking our El Senor, Mr. Scuba Steve. And he unfortunately just couldn't get the time to catch this flick. Fuck him. And yeah, so he didn't want to.
It's just a joke ever.
What? I didn't say that.
I'll tell you what, I don't care if he's here or not. That fucker better watch that movie this week just because we all had to watch it too.
I agree. 100%.
Well, if you're watching, make him watch it.
I'm just saying this straight out, man. If we were all like having a group party and we had like votes of like a couple movies to watch and somebody threw this in the pile, I would literally, I don't know if I would walk out, but I would definitely have some serious, like it would be an argument, I feel. Like it would get heated because I would be like, no, fuck you, dude. This is trash.
It's not horrible.
I'm not going through this shit again.
We're jumping in. We're jumping in.
Yes, we are jumping in.
Yes.
We don't have our scubas. However, we do have a scuba that we pulled in from Variant Universe. I don't know what, just give them a number. Doesn't matter. And Scoobs, how the fuck you been? Hope you're doing well. If you could introduce us here to what our slice of life.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your
slice of life. Thank you for that delicious cheesiness.
Every time.
Hell yeah.
Steph said she's glad she chose to read instead of watching this movie. I even told her that. I said, be glad you read instead of watching this.
You know what?
Steph, honestly,
I was going to say, first of all, thanks for joining us. Secondly, you're lucky. I hate reading, and I would much rather have read.
I should have made her watch last week's movie, though. Damn it!
I've read
Evil
books.
Dead creeps her the hell out.
I've read books that just have a better setup. That never mind. Just Chad, go. I'll save it for later.
Hey, Chad, Daddy, how was your weekend, homie?
Well, not too bad. You know, normal work week. Yeah, nothing crazy or stupid or fun or just work. Friday had doctor's appointments. What else did I do Friday? I don't think I did anything Friday. No, I didn't. I just hung out. Steph went to see her friend Crystal and hung out. Saturday, we had soccer games for the kids. They had their first soccer games of the spring season.
Nice.
Nice.
They did not win. Neither of them.
Damn.
That's okay.
Harper's team lost 8-2. It's a bunch of little, 6 to 8 year olds. Most of them don't know what they're doing. No big whoop. I mean, poor Harper. She doesn't know how to play soccer yet. Like, she hasn't really had too many practices. She's just standing out there in the field. But, she'll get there. Cameron's team did pretty decent, and he actually assisted on the first goal, which I was pretty proud of.
Nice.
Yeah, he passed the ball to the one girl, and she ran it in and scored. So it's pretty nice. I mean, they lost 3-2. They only lost by 1. Wasn't too bad.
Hey, man. You know
Unfortunately, I did not get to see either of the games the whole way through because, of course, thanks to scheduling, both of their first games were scheduled at the exact same time.
Such as the woe of multiple kids that like sports.
Yes. So Steph got to watch the first half of Harper's game and the second half of Cameron's game, and mine was the other way around.
Nice. Well, at least you both. You know what? At least you got to see some of it.
Yeah. Exactly.
For both of them. So
it was so funny because I'm sitting there, I'm typing to Steph, updating her on the score. I'm like 6-1, 1 minute later, or 6-2, 1 minute later, 7-2, next minute, 8-2, game's over. Yeah, I mean, they're having fun. That's all I care about. Then we went to her best friend's middle daughter, her birthday party, and we spent the day up there just hanging out, chilling. And yesterday, I woke up feeling like shit. This stupid weather made me sick.
Well, what the fuck, homie?
Yeah, I've been feeling like crap ever since yesterday. Sore throat, kind of feeling sick to my stomach. But I'm trudging on through. I made it through this movie. Oh, and yesterday, like I told you guys, my fucking external hard drive crashed for the PS5.
Yeah, what the fuck is that all about?
I don't know. Lately, it's just been having this problem where it just doesn't want to read it properly. Like every time I turn on the PS5, it says it's not working properly. Which it shouldn't be doing that because I set the settings so that it's always getting a constant power supply, which is what you're supposed to do for it to keep reading.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what, I couldn't get it to read on there. So I said, you know what, hell with it. I reformatted it, lost all the data on there. But the good thing is when you do that, it's literally just game downloads you lose. Save date, game save data, and everything. It's all saved in the cloud.
Okay.
I just literally have to re-download games.
That's not bad.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, back in the day, that would have been a memory card,
Yeah, exactly.
Or on that external at one point, maybe.
Yeah, but those memory cards, they're like solid state drives are now. It's hard for those to fail. It's just a chip,
right?
Whereas this is a hard drive. It's got the spinning disc and everything, and the hard drive is running. Like you can hear it and you can feel it spinning and vibrating.
Yeah, do you have one of those big like wall plug ones, or do you have just a 3.0 drive?
It's just a little Seagate drive.
Okay, yeah, so that's all I got. What's up, Gene?
Hey, Gene. Which is what surprised me because Seagate's usually top of the line when it comes to gaming drives.
Yeah, for real, dude. That's weird that it would.
All I can think of is it must have had maybe some corrupt update when I downloaded some kind of update for a game, something like that. I don't know.
Maybe.
That's possible.
Yeah. So, I reformatted that, got some games downloaded again, and watched this movie, and that was pretty much my whole weekend. Bobby, how about you, buddy?
The movie sounds like it took up.
Oh, wait, and I did treat myself. They're having a sale of games on FanFlix. They're digital copies of movies, and I buy digital copies of movies I already own physically. That way, I don't have to pop them in. So I bought Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, and both the '90s and the 2021 Mortal Kombat movies.
Nice.
Bro, watching the newest MK, man, like if you haven't watched it in a while, it's just as soon as Kano hits that screen,
I think Brody. It's Brody.
But you hear him and you're just like Brody.
I always feel bad though because I know I can sit down and watch the first Mortal Kombat with the kids. I don't know if I can sit down and watch the new one with them.
It's iffy. I have not with Julie, but the old ones, fuck yeah, dude. The old ones are PG-13 solid. Like these ones,
I would wait a little longer.
You know what? It really depends on the kid. Honestly, like I feel like that's any situation. Every kid is different. Like, I don't know. Some kids can take it, some kids just can't. So whatever.
I think Cameron would probably get a kick out of it.
Show him the animated ones, bro.
Yeah, because that's so much more tame.
Right? It's probably worse.
Gore-wise, yes.
Just killing a kid in the first 10 minutes,
Oh
bro.
God,
Legit,
fucking
like
Scorpion's Revenge alone.
that's what I'm saying, dude. Just that first one, man.
Yeah,
Fucking A, bro. But nice, dude. That's sweet that you got some sweet movie deals.
and
Yeah,
I know on the sale they did
nice.
have the animated movies as well. I almost bought Cage Match, but I know you said it wasn't the greatest, so I kind of held off on that.
I like them all, dude, but it's all just like it's because they're all to me like almost like a series at this point. You know what
Yeah,
I
and I
mean?
can watch
So,
Cage Match on Max at any time.
there you go. So you're already paying for Max. You might as well just enjoy it while you there that way.
Right.
Yeah, there
Okay,
you go.
enough about the awesome Mortal Kombat movies. Bobby, how was your weekend?
What did I do? Oh, Friday, I actually had off from work. So I chilled out. I went to NJ HorrorCon Friday night. I finally got to meet Mr. Adam Marcus, the man
Oh,
himself.
nice, dude.
So cool, dude.
I could have stayed at his table for hours and not even talk about Jason Goes to Hell. There was a bunch of other projects I heard about, but time was short for me and I didn't have hours to do it. So I had him sign my Jason Goes to Hell movie magazine from Fangoria back in the
I
day.
have one as well.
Yeah, I still have all the posters and everything in it. Like now it's going to just go get sealed away and never get touched again. And then I also had, I met Kane while I was there. I had him and Adam also sign both the magazine, and I bought the Gutter Garbs Jason Goes to Hell poster.
Nice.
So I had them sign that, and I hung out with a couple of my friends that I had with me. And that was it, Friday night. And then I went down to Rebecca's house, and then Saturday we did a workout for autism. I think they raised like $5,000.
Hell yeah, dude.
So basically,
Nice.
it's not specifically for. Basically, what it is there's an organization, and they work to find jobs for people who are autistic. So wherever you can get them a job, so anywhere they can work, which is cool. They also there was one company who was at the workout, was a popcorn company, where that's who they mainly hire, and I don't know, but it's pretty cool. It really is, and their popcorn is fucking fantastic. Like you'll be buying that shit, and you're like 2 minutes later, you're like, I need a new bag, and the bag is this long.
Hell yeah,
You're like,
dude.
So what kind of like
So-
flavors of popcorn would they have? Like
So they got like your standard flavors. I think if I'm correct, they tend to change it up every couple of months. I honestly couldn't tell you, but I know they're kettle corn,
Ugh.
dude. If I could fuck that shit up all
I don't know.
day.
Kettle corn's hit or miss for me. When it's fresh, it's not bad.
Well, and theirs that they make it. They always make that one fresh, and when it's fresh and nice and warm, woohoo, that shit's good. So we did that morning, and then later that night, me and her went and had dinner, did a little shopping out in PA, up in Peddler's Village, and then Sunday we had a lazy fucking day. We went and had breakfast, and we watched Night Swim finally, which was
Oh, haunted pool. Yeah, how was that?
I've heard of mixed reviews of that.
you want my honest
Honest
review?
review, homie.
Swiss cheese.
Ah,
A lot of
lots
holes.
of
Huh?
potholes.
There was
I do love
totally
Swiss cheese,
not
man. It's
what I was. Yeah, but this is not the good Swiss cheese like
Oh,
some of
it's
those
like
'80s ones we
cheap-
get, where you're
cheap
over
Swiss
here
cheese?
like I could put that on. Put it this way: the '80s ones, you could put that cheese on every sandwich you've ever made in your life, and you go like this. I'm fucking happy.
Yeah, but that's like Velveeta,
You put
dude.
this
You know what I
with-
mean? Like, you know it's fake, but it's delicious.
Yeah, but this Swiss cheese was like you took a bite of it and went like this.
Mm,
Something just ain't right. It was
a little sour.
it was a good
So
concept.
it's
but
it's
it
Swiss
just
cheese
had-
that's just about to
Right,
turn
Gene?
moldy.
Yeah,
Ugh.
it was just it was okay. We were both just like so many plot holes. This just doesn't add up. So we watched that. We watched another movie, and then my brother and his wife came over. We had dinner, and that was it. It was a nice, quiet weekend with my girlfriend and some friends. And I actually watched this movie last week.
Damn.
It took up half a day.
I can see why.
I wish I had that half a day. I wish I had a half a day back, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes.
Dude,
John?
I can totally sympathize with that because I watched it on Tubi, and with the ad breaks and everything, it felt like 3.5 hours.
Yeah. Oh my! I watched it on Freevee, and I was like,
Oh, that's even worse.
3 minutes of preview. It was 3 minutes of ads. I'm like,
Every ad break.
Don't add minutes.
Oh, gross. Well, let's see. I didn't do shit this weekend. I'm gonna keep it short and fucking sweet, bro. I got out of work on Friday, man, and then the wife and I have been fucking playing a lot of Helldivers and shit. Obviously doing our normal, like yesterday was just fucking clean chore day and all that other good shit. I didn't work today, and I also have tomorrow off because, well, it's our kiddo's spring break, so the wife took off the whole week and I just took off a couple days.
Nice.
But we did go to the park today, enjoyed that. We're gonna go check out this one in where we actually live, but it wasn't open yet because they put in some like a whole new playground and stuff like that. So we went to the city park, which I'll give props to, man. So they put in this new skate park there. Like they had this one that's been there for like 20 years, and it was all right, dude. Like it was for our city, which our city is not big by any means, dude. It's the fact that they even had a skate park was cool nonetheless, right? So like now they actually have like a legit solid full concrete one that's just it's even got like part of it. They had an old pavilion, they expanded under there, so there's some like small little like quarter pipes under there and shit like that. So you can even like while it's raining, you can still fucking rock it and shit. And so that was cool, man. We walked around the park and then played some basketball, did some bullshit there. But yeah, so funny is like I started watching this movie because I usually watch my movies Sunday night at 8:00 once the kiddo goes to bed. So that way I'm fresh for the show. And it's been the wife and I's kind of tradition since I've been doing this fucking show, right?
Yep.
But every once in a while when we know like I didn't work today. So we're like, yo, dude, we want to dive. So I was like, well, I'm going to make a conscious effort to try to watch this shit early in the day so we can enjoy our evening. How we, because I just didn't think like this was going to be one that was going to be enthralling for her and I to watch. And I was correct.
I was surprised when you said you were watching it that early in the day.
Yeah, well, because when I was pulling a Scuba Steve, shout outs, and I started watching it on my phone. And I was watching it on Tubi, and not to jump ahead by any means. And yeah, so started watching on my phone while cleaning. And then I was just like, I got to the point where I was done cleaning, and then I was just like, all right, it's time for some snacks. I'm going to throw this up right on the TV and finish this up. And so she had no interest in watching it because I kind of told her like the quick synopsis. And I was like, yeah, it's about two twin gynecologist brothers being gross and being creepy to women. She's like, oh.
That's the best description.
It is,
ever,
dude. Like,
man.
you want me to synopsis that shit in one fucking sentence? There you go.
But the sad part is, take out like the gross part for the most part.
Okay, gross overall if you think about their story thus far up until this point, because clearly, like this is the one that tips their scale. You know what I mean? Blah blah blah. But
right, yeah.
Needless to say, ended up watching that nice and early, and she sat down and did watch it with me, and she just kept looking. She's like, "Is anything going to happen in this movie?" To which I said, "I don't know, but we're going to put that on pause right here because clearly we are ready to discuss this movie." And like I said, I didn't do shit this weekend, so I got nothing to talk about anyways, except for this. So that being said, this was a Bobby pick. And we're talking.
But don't hold it against him.
No. It's not even a.
This is one we can't blame on him. We all.
This
went
is not
blind.
fair because he picked one that even he hadn't seen, so there's no way to know.
That's like that's the rift with me,
Yeah, 100%.
I'll own that failure, but I had no idea going into it would be that bad.
And I will own this one with every ounce of anything. We'll talk about that when we get to it. Right. So today,
go ahead, Bob.
Is Dead Ringers, released September 23rd, 1988. The twin brothers Beverly and Elliot Mantle are close to each other since they were kids. They are bright students at the medical school where they are undergraduate in gynecology. Yeah. They work in their clinic, Mantle Inc., where Beverly is shy and a hard worker, and Elliot is eloquent, cynical, and daring. When the actress Claire
Nouveau.
Okay, I was about to say Nevio, but I was like, no, don't screw it. Nouveau comes to their clinic for fertilization treatment. Elliot seduces her, and they have a one-night stand. Elliot offers Claire to Beverly, and soon he falls in love with her. Claire is addicted to pills, and Beverly becomes addicted. When Claire accidentally discovers that Beverly is an identical twin brother, she finds the truth about her initial affair with Elliot and breaks up with Beverly. He becomes depressed and uses more pills, reaching the rock bottom. Elliot decides to use the pills to synchronize with his brother, leading to the Mantles brothers' tragic
Holy
end.
shit! That's not even a rundown. That's legit the whole fucking
That's
plot.
the whole movie.
Literally.
God damn.
But the weird part is this whole plot, it makes you go, well, what happens in between? Well, we're going to save you all quite a bit of time and
Nothing.
go.
Nothing. What is
Directed by, and I'll talk about that when we get into, but directed by David Cronenberg, Rabid, Crimes of the Future. Written by David Cronenberg, The Brood, Naked Lunch, Norman Snyder,
Sack
Body
Lunch.
Parts, Casino Jack. Oh, I was like, wait, what are you saying? I'm like, oh, Seinfeld. Produced by David Cronenberg, Crash, Spider, Mark Boyman, The Fly, 1492, Quest of Paradise.
Conquest.
Conquest
Conquest of Paradise.
It's been a long day. It's been a
Quest
long
of
day.
Paradise.
And I can't.
That's
and
a
I
Monty
can't
Python
read.
movie. I'm pretty fucking sure, homie, but I could be wrong.
It sounds like it fucking is too.
Dude, no joke. I've had fucking Holy Grail going through my head all day today, and I have no idea
Hell
why.
yeah. Because that just means you need to watch it.
I don't even know what happened, but just sitting there working, and all of a sudden just pops in my head, he is brave Sir Robin, brave Sir Robin.
That's right.
Where did that come from?
Sometimes that
Never
happens, bro.
question.
Those are called earworms, and I don't know where they come from, but they do. All right. I will take over for Bob. Wish me luck. We have Jeremy Irons from
Thank
The
God.
Lion King, which, may I say, that's if you close your eyes, you're just listening to Scar be weird the whole fucking time, dude. Like, and that's all it was to me, man. Because I'm just like, this is Scar, bro. Like, he also is Alfred, but he's more Scar than Alfred to me. So
Yeah.
and also Die Hard with a Vengeance as Beverly and Elliot Mantle. Genevieve Bujold, maybe. The Adventures of Pinocchio.
You're better than me.
Eye of the Beholder as Claire Neveu. Heidi von Peleske, Blind Fear and Red as Carrie. Barbara Gordon, Universal Soldier 2, Brothers in Arms. And Cube 2, Hypercube. I love that you had sequels on there. As Danuta. Pardon me. Shirley Douglas, Shadow Dancer, Franklin as Laura, Stephen Lack, Scanners, Hell. There's just a movie called Hell.
Yeah. It's from the 80s. I have no idea what it's about.
As Anders Wallach, Nick Nichols, terrible name, The Raccoons, and Cops. Wait, like the cartoon show Cops?
Yeah, those are both animated series he did voices for. Like, if he
Fuck
was like,
yeah,
Oh,
dude.
shit.
That was such a crazy 80s show, man. Like the 80s was such a fucking unspoken, like Western. That was the Wild West of cartoons, bro. Like 100%.
Never seen it, so now I gotta look that up.
Bro. Okay, so like Cops, like the show, Bad Boy, that show was on air, and they were like, "Hey, man, what if we made a show about cops, but for kids, based off that?" But then somebody, because it's the 80s, must have brought a humongous amount of cocaine, and they completely lost sight of that direction and just literally took the names and went then thus forward. They're like, well, we need to make these more 80s superhero cops. And then just, yeah.
All right, I'm looking that shit up later.
Fucking A, dude. The shrubberies. I see that, Gene. That's awesome. Lynn Cormack, Terminal Justice, Dead by Monday as Arlene, and Damir Andre, could be wrong on that, sorry. Jumper and Shazam as Birchall. Body Count, Deuce.
I don't even remember who they were.
The
Well, we
twins.
got.
It was just the twins.
Wait, he was dead at the end? The other one?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he was just like crying over him.
No, he was dead.
Oh, so they actually like reenacted the story. He just,
Yeah.
oh. All right, whatever. Okay. Chad Daddy, I'm going to hand that over to you. Homie.
Music by Howard Shore, Mrs. Doubtfire, and Dogma.
two great movies of completely opposite spectrum things.
Yes.
Two timeless classics. Cinematography by Peter Sushitsky. The Empire Strikes Back, Mars Attacks. Edited by
Also, two great movies of opposites.
Yes.
I really want to see a horror version of Mars Attacks that's closer in tone to the actual original fucking cards, though.
First of all,
that would be nice.
Hello, Brody.
Hey, Brody.
Hello, Brody.
Secondly, yes, but I'm not even listen, dude. I'm a little younger. When I first saw Mars Attacks, even though it wasn't scary, there were definitely some parts that were like put me in some existential crisis mode, dude. You know what I mean? Where you're just like,
yeah,
bro, if this shit was really going on, like, holy fuck.
And that had some great one-liners, like when fucking
yes.
Oh, Nicholson. He's standing in front of Congress. He's like,
which Nicholson? Remember, he was two different characters in that.
The President Nicholson.
Okay.
And he was like, I just want to remind the American people that we have two branches of the government still working, and that ain't bad. Delivered in a way that only Nicholson could do it. Right. Okay, so continuing on. Edited by Ronald Sanders, Firestarter, The Gate 2, Trespassers. Effects and makeup by Gordon J. Smith, Killer Party, Graveyard Shift. Distributed by 20th Century Fox. Runtime of 115 very long minutes.
I like how you even wrote that, dude.
Yeah. It was a long watch. Rated R, not sure. I guess we could get some titties. And I got some weird. Yeah, okay, yeah. But okay. Budget of 13 mil and only grossed 14 mil. It was not successful at all.
Really? You would have surprised me if
who would have guessed?
You would have honestly surprised me a lot, and you told me if it did well. Because that was a thought.
If you you told me this made 30 million, I would have been like, how?
Because that was on watching this, and I don't know if you guys ever think about this, but I like to like put myself kind of in the theater seats of at the time when this movie came out. And oh my God, dude, if somebody took me to see this in the movies, I might have walked out.
Yeah, same.
I think I would have shot myself.
I don't know if I would have been that catastrophic on that shit, dude, but I definitely would have walked the fuck out. I'd be like, bro, I'm falling. Or I would have just taken a nap. I'm like, I just paid to take a nap, I guess, whatever.
I could picture sitting in the theater watching this and being like, "Do you guys ever see that one episode? It was one of Peter Griffin's flashbacks on Family Guy where he's just flashing back to going to a play with Brian. And Peter's just trying.
Oh,
like, what the hell is this? Somebody throw a pie.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So we are in general discussion here. Now, before we decide to just be completely relentless, I'm sorry, Brody. You had to have an idea that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, and here's what I'll say real quick, because this is a first time watch for all of us. And I'm going to go with this way because it is a stigma among many directors who do horror films. It's a David Cronenberg movie. We all know the movies he's done. You can just say Scanners and The Fly. Just say those two alone. You kind of get a basis as to what you're expecting. Now, this is not to say a director can't do something out of their wheelhouse. Please do it. It's encouraged, but you get what you also expect. That's us. But then you have all these other movies. This is the only one that I know of. It missed the mark on a lot of levels.
So, and maybe it did for us, and maybe it didn't for others. Now,
and yes,
I'm always speaking for myself. Maybe you boys would agree. Maybe you won't. For me, going into this, knowing the name that's attached to it, on top of just the quick synopsis, I was expecting a little bit more potentially fucked up shit. Psychologically or even reality, dude. Maybe the doctor goes on a tailspin and really starts fucking up people. You know what I mean? And we go into some like crazy suicide, like, killer fucking spree. I don't know.
Dude, I was legit expecting them to be like serial killers. Something like that, going in like twin serial killers where they have this psychic connection where one's telling where the other where the victims are, something like that. I don't know. I
don't. I couldn't even tell you what I thought when I read the synopsis because I literally picked it out of a random ass. I typed it in, and it came up in a lot of lists. And I'm like, well, it's David Cronenberg, and this like you just said the synopsis. I'm like, okay. I mean, what do I have to lose? I mean, you would think it's just more. There was, and even Brody's saying here, deforming patient's private part. It didn't happen.
Yeah, but like it kind of happened once, and we don't know if like she was really fucked up, but he definitely hurt her. But I expected it to almost get to that point and then some, because he clearly had these tools, but obviously his team wasn't going to let him use it. I thought he was going to use it in his private practice where nobody would catch him.
Same.
You know what I mean? And I thought we were going to have this just crazy like third act. We were just like, holy shit, this dude's going fully off the fucking rails, mutilating women because, you know, he fell in love with really his first lay, I guess.
Yeah,
not really, but
well,
I was really hoping for some Hellraiser shit with the tools that he built.
Yeah,
those tools did look. I mean, you look fucking.
I mean, you can look at them right alongside Bob here. But you're looking.
I was even thinking of.
You're just looking at it, and you're like, that's supposed to go inside somebody, bro. Like, what the fuck?
But here's the weird part. Now, today's day and age, someone will look at that and go, "Yeah, I'm in."
Oh yeah.
I was kind of thinking that this would have been a little more along the lines of like the kind of, I say between the Scanners and the Fly, but more of the Fly, just not like the mutated part, but more of it had a love story, but then it's like, okay, well, go off the rails.
Yeah, but like, okay, because Cronenberg has like, he's not. You're right. He's not just necessarily body horror, although I feel that is like one of the biggest things that is synonymous with his name. But like Videodrome, I mean, let's talk about the fucking TV from that for a second, dude. That's just some weird fucking sci-fi shit right there. It's nightmarish for sure. It is horrific, scary, because you're just like, oh, this TV wants to blow me. I might do it. But it's just, I don't know. Like, that's the kind of level I expect. And you honestly only get 5 seconds of that kind of shit in this movie.
And it's a dream sequence too.
It's a dream sequence, which is fine, but maybe give me a little bit more fucked up dream sequences, bro. You know what I mean? Maybe more him.
Yeah.
Maybe like him and his brother like melding together while fucking some chick or something.
Dude, I was
weird fucking shit, bro.
The way the ending was set up, I thought that they were going to end up sewing themselves to each other, like at the end of Basket Case.
Okay, I thought that as well, and I'm glad you were kind of on point, but they were so adamant on that story of the two brothers,
right? The Siamese twins,
yeah.
And like, keep the love story, keep that he fell in love with this woman, he had drugs and everything, but then it just needed more. Like, I'm not saying every horror movie has to be balls to the wall, but every movie needs that, as they say, that visceral impact, whether it's big or small. This just, it missed it.
Now, I will say, even though we've already said like this doesn't feel like a horror movie, I personally would not consider this a horror movie.
No.
Now, if you want to talk into the deep dive of things that are potentially scary because of real life, we can talk about the use of drugs in this film. Clearly, this is a film that's showing you don't want to get addicted to drugs. And it doesn't matter who you are or what you do, that shit's going to make you crash and fucking dive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I'm not talking weed or anything. Like, I'm talking like hardcore pills, things, really addictive substances.
Right.
Well, and and not to go off track, but there was another movie I watched called Requiem for a Dream.
Hell yeah, dude.
Like, now, if you really want to talk about a movie that really goes into like what drugs do to people to do what they want to do, I feel that's a better example. But yeah, no, that for this movie, that's the scariest part, which is not slighting it, but
at the same time,
again,
like, I feel we missed a lot of scary part with just the act of like what the brothers are doing of switching roles all the time. Because like, how many fucking clients are they doing this to? That's gross, man. Like,
it definitely sounds like this. What we saw was not the first time.
No, which is like
No,
that's a
definitely
fucking
not.
Law and Order episode, bro.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
sure, some Law and Orders, I guess, can be some maybe like more horrific than others.
Which, by the way, Jeremy Irons has been on Law and Order SVU.
Has he?
Did a
Oh,
couple
yeah.
episodes as a psychologist.
Oh, nice.
oh, there you go.
It's I don't know, like the acting in this movie, top fucking notch. Jeremy Irons brings it,
Yes,
and he brings it well, and double the fact. So I think like that helps, and that's what helped me get through this movie for at least my own personal being.
100%.
It's just because you're interested, you are interested enough in these characters to want to know where this is gonna go.
yes.
You know what I mean? Like, are they somehow gonna get clean? Or are we gonna see a full fucking crash and burn and to what extent? And we kind of did. Maybe not to the level I think that we were all hoping, clearly, because I mean these guys were still kind of they had bad morals, but they weren't necessarily like psychopathic, I would think.
No.
I could be wrong, maybe with the switching. I'm not a psychologist. I can't analyze that, but
I wouldn't say psychopathic.
no, that's more like socio.
So that's more
right?
sociopath. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sociopathic.
Okay. Whereas, like by the end, I feel like, especially Bev, he should have been getting psychopathic, dude. Like maybe the drugs should have been tweaking about. Maybe he should have been starting to do different drugs. You know what I mean? Just because he couldn't. I don't know. I feel like it could have been definitely elevated in that third act where it's like, okay, we got the slow burn for the first 2/3, but now this last one is just it's gonna really like fucking bring it all together. And I feel like it just didn't really do that.
No, really.
No. And it even, I feel, obviously they're twins and they're, they're linked. I feel it would have been also been even better, like if one is pulling away, it's kind of like sucking the other one dry almost, like it was that kind of connection. I was expecting something like that, and that also just didn't materialize to any form.
Yo, Mr. Garcia, you are not wrong. That is a gross horror film.
And we've already covered that, and we also covered Splinter that you mentioned.
If that's the same Splinter.
Yeah,
There
we
was
were
a
not a fan of that. If that's that one.
It's sad because I remember liking it the first time, but then rewatching it, dude, it just was not.
That shaky cam
It did
is
not
horrible.
hold. Which,
No.
don't get me wrong, shaky cam can work out well for certain aspects and things like that. I was just watching The Mummy, and there's some times where they use shaky cam in some fight scenes in that, and it works really fucking well.
Well, I mean,
My wife was asking me, she's like, have you guys ever covered that? I'm like, no. I feel like that would be really on the cusp. Like tactically, it's in the realm.
It's horror adjacent, that's for sure, but it plays more of like an Indiana Jones movie.
Oh, 100%.
I
Dude.
love it. I absolutely fucking love that movie.
Well, how can you not, bro?
I know. Rachel Wise, Brendan Fraser. What's not to like?
Oh, dude, everything about we just got done watching the second one last night again, dude. I fucking love them.
Oh man,
Yeah, man.
I need horrible CGI though.
I still enjoy it, but it's still nothing touches the first one, dude. That first one is like fucking memorable. All right. Ooh, what's Brody saying? Brody's got something here. Let's pop this up real quick. My anxiety peaked during the unhinged Beverly operating scene, especially when he mounted the patient, wanted the gas. You know what? I'm not going to lie. That was probably the most exhilarating part of the movie because we were just like, well, bro, what the fuck is he doing at this moment? Especially in front of all these people. And you're wondering if they're going to have the cojones to fucking call him out. He's the main surgical doctor, But, I feel like once everybody saw those tools, everyone was like, whoa, bro, what sex shop did you get this shit fucking from?
That is exactly what they look like, too.
Especially this one right underneath me next to Bob.
Yeah. Oh my God. That thing
that's a tentacle dildo nowadays, bro. Like, I mean,
yeah.
Look at the one over in the far corner above the G&M logo. That's a G-spot stimulator.
Dude, there's this one there's this one behind Bob. I don't know. I probably can't pop it up.
The one
God,
to my right.
It's the one that it looks like a spreader essentially.
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
It's just like, ouch. That's all I can think. To which You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I was almost confused with what he was going to do to his brother with all these instruments because I was like, he doesn't have a vagina, homie. What are we doing here? But
So he was
whoa,
Rob,
stroke it out, Bob. Bob's
Oh,
robot. Fuck. Bob, reset if you can, homie.
Oh,
You're
God.
froze and everything.
Oh God. And don't forget.
All right.
Poor Bob.
Fuck. Okay. Damn, that sucks, dude. No, like I said, acting was solid in it. Not just from Jeremy Irons, but he was definitely the main reason to continue with it.
Right.
Do you have your back, Bob? Nope, still
Yeah,
frozen.
it's still frozen. But yeah, like I said, Jeremy Irons acted his heart out in this movie, and that's just how he is. You know, anytime any movie you see him in, he brings it 100%. He and Gary Oldman both are probably two of the best actors out there right now. So that's part of the reason I didn't mind this movie as much. I did not enjoy this movie, but I enjoyed the hell out of Jeremy Irons,
Yeah, 100%.
and he's definitely the reason to finish watching this.
100%. And the fact that he's playing two different characters, so you can just see the chops really working
Right.
at filtering the like. Okay, yeah, they're twin brothers. They are going to have similarities, but at their heart, they are different people. So, and you got to play that to a T. He played it really well. And yeah, we went with the old kind of shtick of, oh, we got Bobby back. Hold on one second.
I'm back.
Yeah. All right. Welcome back, homie. So, we went with the old shtick of just combing the hair different for each twin and adding glasses to one just so we can get the difference, which is fine. It always works.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel like it's anything like it's too schlocky or anything like that. You're like, yeah, dude, whatever. That's sometimes how it goes. But thank you, Brody. Jeremy Irons, his emotional range in this is just
Yes.
superior in all ways. Like
10 out of 10 out of 10.
and you get that rate in the get-go from just the banter between the two brothers.
Right.
Like, not even the kids scene in the beginning was great. We didn't even talk about that yet.
No, that was perfect.
That was fantastic.
I
thought the way that started, we were going to get a whole different kind of a movie. And
So did I.
I read it completely wrong, unfortunately.
All I know is they walked up to her and they asked, I'm like, oh, don't say yes. I'm like, no.
To be fair, all right, you know what? Fuck it. We'll talk about it because we already brought it up, so we might as well just talk about it. The opening scene, nonetheless, is obviously them as kids. We don't have Jeremy Irons, but it's these two brothers as kids, and they are discussing things on a clinical level.
Mm-hmm.
They're not a group of young dudes just being gross like normal dudes mostly are.
Yeah, you can tell these clearly not our normal young boys.
This kid, he's on a whole different level, dude. He's like an Egon Spengler that doesn't go into ghost busting, right? It would have been, it's autism now. It would have been Asperger's back then. And you get that right away just because he's talking about how fish have sex.
Mm-hmm.
And he even mentions, he's like, oh, I kind of like the idea of that, not having to get like intimately physical or anything. So you could tell that this dude already is I think introvert doesn't even cover it. You know what I mean? He's like beyond that extent, but introvert nonetheless.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you call that because it's not like being
asexual, I guess.
It's like putting yourself even just outside of everyone else. It's kind of
right.
It's
almost like a limbo territory because
it's like maybe introvert, extrovert, and then like I don't know, like supervert or something if you want to call it that. Something like
that works. And that's what he's to that level, to where they go ask this girl if they could go fuck her in a bathtub, but like fish, is what I'm assuming he's going to experiment as. He doesn't explain it like that, but he just says, "Can we go fuck in a bath? Or you want to join us for a fuck in our bathtub?" Which the girl tells him to straight fuck off, which is hilarious opening.
I will give it that. And like Gene said, that to me is the best part of the film.
It was, dude. You pulled me right in
yeah.
with that one. And I was like, all right, what have you got here? And then no, nothing.
Yeah, nothing
like
after
that ever.
that.
But clearly, like you set.
What happened to Bobby? That was weird.
Oh
internet-
shit!
My internet is just, I don't know what is going on.
Yep, mine was doing that earlier in the show too. I looked and my network was down to like 3 out of 10. I have no idea why.
Hey. There's a
Yeah.
reason we have this banner above our heads.
Welcome to the shit show.
Welcome to the shit show. All right.
Well, it's climbing back. So
We need another banner like at the bottom that says "Blame Mary Lou."
No, we don't need to put that shit all the time.
all right, internet problems.
But I thought with the story of now, granted, if you look at the quick plot synopsis, it says like their whole thing gets shaken up by a relationship, blah blah blah. So that's already the premise of this. However, I thought it would get to more of a creepier state, like I said earlier, or at least straight off the rails. I don't know, man. Something about when you have a guy like Cronenberg and his name is synonymous with body horror and just gross shit, over the top stuff, there comes a level of expectancy. I'm sorry, and maybe that's on me that I shouldn't have, but that's how it feels. And going into that, like I said, we only got that weird little like where they were attached at the hip in the dream, and that was that one moment where you're like, there it is, and then that was fucking it, dude. And it sucked. Like I feel like it needed just a little. It needed something more, man. If you gave us a solid third act where he uses this shit that we're looking at right now in some like fucked up ways, or you know what I mean? I just feel like that would have just pulled some shit more together. But at the same time, that was never really these guys.
Right.
So.
And I just wasn't expecting a story about drug addiction.
No.
No.
Gene, I'm not disagreeing. That's why the sexual assault stuff, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the more scarier part of the whole fucking story is the fact that those dudes were doing that. It's like, bro, if you gave us that and then you got some like crazy revenge story of like their last potential victim or something, now you got a fucking horror movie. But I don't know, the drug addiction shit made it feel like this is like a
Dare movie,
after school special.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a Lifetime movie or something, but sure. Like I don't even know where to put this. Like if you asked me to categorize this movie, I don't know how I could.
It's a soap opera.
I would put it in Lifetime movie.
But it's not a thriller, and it's mentioned as a thriller. No. It's not a. It says it's a mystery. Is it a mystery? What the fuck's the mystery?
There's no mystery afoot.
No. We're just wondering if this dude's going to come out of his drug spiral or not, and he doesn't. And the fact that it brings his brother into it too, like, I don't know.
I would just list this as a drama.
It would have to be to me.
And even then, the synopsis, but also the main poster of this movie itself is very deceiving. Like, it's the two of them merged together in the middle. And I'm like, something's got to happen that involves this. It's kind of like when we say everything in a trailer should be in the movie, and it's not. But
the other thing is Elliot's girlfriend. Have they double teamed her before? It feels like that wasn't like a first time kind of a thing.
I think they did. I mean, come on. What woman walks around naked and says hi to your twin? Hi. Really?
That's what I was trying to figure.
I was thinking, okay, never mind. I was thinking of what's her face. Yeah, I kind of got that impression too, or at least if they haven't, she really wanted to.
Well, yeah. Okay, so like Bob brought up the scene earlier where she talks to him in the bathroom. Like, yeah, she's fucking fully exposed. So
ready
like,
to go.
was she trying to get some dick in that scene? Because that's kind of how I read that scene.
I read that
scene.
Yeah. Especially when she asked if he was going to get a shower.
Right. Because I feel like if he was getting the shower, she would have got in.
Yep.
But he said no. So she's like, okay, never mind. And that's how I
the way she just talked to him, it's like that woman was ready. Come on.
Gene says to him, he thinks of it. I'm going to pop that up just so everybody can see that here. To him, he always thinks of it as a split personality movie because at some points of the movie, I can't tell who is who, which I think once they start getting into the drug, like the heavy drug use, that's what's supposed to happen. Because all their hair instantly is starting to do the same kind of like look. They got the same baggage going on.
But boy, when they started, getting into those drugs, their freaking office went to shit.
Yes,
like
it did.
instantly.
And they brought this up even at the beginning of the movie. That does this experience or situation happen to doctors as well? And absolutely. And here we fucking see it, right? You know what I mean? Like, and it could just show you how easily you can go off the rails with that kind of power of being able to get drugs like that at any kind of fucking whim. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't have some deep discussion horror elements into it, but on the surface level, it's not fucking horror, dude.
Not to me.
Not even on most levels as anybody would even compare it.
And I'm not saying you even have to have a kill in a horror movie to make it a horror movie, but it's kind of expected at this point, at least a little bit.
At least give us something to go on. Let's make something happen.
Right, 100%, man. Blue Velvet came on after this. So. Yeah, I don't know, man. Gene agrees it's not horror for sure. I feel like we've kind of shed on this a little bit enough. Even though we do praise Mr. Irons. The dude brought it twice for us. So, but I don't know, man. I don't care about the deep human psyche like that much of it.
Go ahead, Chad.
I was just gonna say this felt like too much of an art house type film than something we would be.
I don't even know if it's art house per se.
No, maybe certain times.
It's solid acting for sure.
Yeah,
and maybe that's, and it's more about I can see where you're going with it though. It's like it does feel like it's kind of on that cusp.
I think I would be interested into the deep human psyche, but as if there's more to it that we'll see, like we've just been saying a million times, almost like kind of like what was it from Beyond, where they're talking about it's this gland, well, what's in the deep human psyche that's say worse than that? Like,
well, see, that's like where you're getting in different movies where like it's something else that's pushing the doctor to those levels where like, you can blame the drugs. And, obviously drugs have made people hostile and violent and stuff like that for sure. But usually that's also when like people have shown bouts of that prior and then they just get exacerbated. Where this guy, right from the get-go, this dude's not a violent guy. He's not a hostile guy. You know what I mean? So like,
true.
Even to the level he gets, it's terrifying for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you feel bad for any woman he potentially comes in contact with, especially with that one that he really hurt. Where his brother's even like, this isn't made for internal use, man. Like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that was his prize from the earlier scene, correct?
That was their invention that they made. That they had gold plated. That was some
gold plated,
a chest retractor that I don't know if you remember, but when they were kids and they did that little invisible woman toy thing, it was they made it then.
And then that's when the one scene where he was like, oh, they put this in backwards or some bullshit. All right. You guys want to hear from Brody? Because I'm very interested to see.
I've been waiting.
Yeah, I'm so curious. Let's go.
Yeah. I feel like Brody's gonna have an opposite spectrum, which is honestly very welcomed because I want to hear from somebody that potentially might be like this. But we'll see.
Yeah,
good.
So do I.
Howdy folks, it's your DKB here back for another episode of Gore, and this week I'm here to talk to you about Dead Ringers. I'm just going to dive straight into it. So what I really appreciate and love the most about this film is the performance portrayed by Jeremy Irons, how he's able to capture the essence of these identical twin brothers, and yet feeling somewhat two actors actually coming in and portraying these two different personality traits of the twins. One with a little bit of antisocial values, a bit of anxiety, where the other one's a bit more, up and about, likes the outgoing sensibility, he's a little bit more up the ante in that. And Jeremy Irons, how he was able to really bring to life these brothers, it was actually really great to see unfold, because I love a good character development story in any film, and this is what this film is just basically about from start to finish. These two brothers and that psychokinesis bond that you sort of hear about twins having, that sort of sensibility to connect strangely through that terms of one maybe knowing something while the other does without having seen it. There's this really weird value and dynamic between the two characters in this film, and I like to see how Cronenberg plays that out while dealing with that body horror element that he loves to play out through the film. I think it's great to see involved how they're actually able to introduce a relationship status to one of the brothers, and to pull him away from his other brother and see this downward spiral of just guilt, anxiety, drugs involved that really heighten that sense of separation anxiety, or whatever you call it. And it's really great to see that unfold in this really weird world of Cronenberg that we always get throughout his films. So I was really able to appreciate Jeremy Irons bringing everything he had I honestly think he should have, this is an Oscar-worthy performance, if I'm being honest. And you might think I'm being biased because you know how much I love Cronenberg and his stuff, but in saying that, I think anyone could really maybe you disagree, I don't know, but I think a lot of people would agree with me on terms that it's definitely up there as an Oscar-worthy performance.
For Irons, absolutely.
So I know a lot of people get a little bit pissed off of this film being labelled as a horror film, especially a David Cronenberg film. I think they expect a little bit more horror throughout this film, but
talking about us, boys.
2 fucking hours
it.
going on a journey, an emotional roller coaster of this downward drug-fueled spiral between two brothers, and by the end of the film, the third and final act is definitely where David Cronenberg was able to showcase that realism of horror and what it's all about. When we break it down to the finest details, right to the nitty-gritty, dark themes and tones of the film, is obviously a psychological horror film. There is no diggity, no doubt about that. But yeah, how Cronenberg was able to capture that throughout the essence of these two characters. And by the time the end credits are rolling, it leaves a really dark and disturbing, bad taste in your mouth, and it's very sad. It is an absolutely sad story by the end of the film, because there's such a successful, the characters are so fucking successful, you just want them to succeed, and then it just ends up being an absolute shit show shambles, and it's not good. So I love the cinematography, the editing, and the wardrobe department in this film. And so I'll kick it off with cinematography. The cinematography is definitely what it needed to be. It didn't really need to be fast-paced. It's definitely not a story for that, or whatever it may be. The editing definitely comes in and helps create that cinematography flow for me personally, because the story felt very consistent all the way through. It didn't feel slow or fast for me, so I love the combination between the two there. And then you have the wardrobe department in here creating a fantastic surgical outfit for our actors, and this is where some of the cinematography shots that I really like come into play, and that is when we get a unhinged Beverly, or whatever fucking twin it is, before he's actually about to operate on someone. We get some fantastic shots of him getting suited up as, to me, would look like a cult leader. They felt like
yeah, dude, that shit was weird as hell.
Very iconic in their right. You sort of see them pop up here and there in pop culture. So those shots of the surgical outfits were fucking intimidating to me and looked great. Obviously, prop maker, whoever made the props for those mutant instruments, tools, whatever it may be, they were some fucking spine-tingling shit. They were fucking intimidating and gross and scary as fuck. I would love to own them as a prop. So all in all, I won't bore you for much longer, but for me personally, you obviously can tell by my review that I really fucking appreciate this film. I really enjoy it for what it is. It's something different. I like how it sort of plays on it's based on essentially a real life story, and how Cronenberg was able to turn it into his own little unique story and introduce new elements to that was actually really cool to see. But yeah, loosely based, Chad will fill you in on that anyway. So all in all, I'm going to give this a Gore score of 4.2.
4.2.
So this is your DKB signing out. I look forward to hearing what you gentlemen have to say about the film, and I shall catch you next week. And yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine trailer is going to fucking kick ass.
Oh!
Yeah, it does.
I didn't watch it because I didn't want to. I didn't want to spoil it for myself.
It doesn't spoil much.
I just don't know if I want to watch anything else. Let me switch us around here. We lost Bob. I'm assuming he's got internet difficulties.
I'm guessing.
Hopefully he'll be back. Brody, thank you once again for a very insightful review from the world down under. I appreciate. This is why I love having Brody on the show, because Brody's always. Sometimes we can all be on the same page, and other times we could all be a little different. And I feel he's got a little bit more. There we go. Bobby's back. Brody's definitely got a little bit more of that, like, how do I want to say
refined.
Thank you. Refined taste in comparison to the boys and I.
Well, yeah, he's actually went to film school. We're just a bunch of
Correct.
schlubs. We're just a bunch of schlubs that watch movies. We don't have any education, and it's
100%. We're
That's
just a bunch of blue collar assholes watching fucking films.
Yeah, skull poople.
What the fuck? Fair enough.
Do you remember that marketing campaign when they had that on the on like the billboards?
What's that?
The skull, the poop, and the L for Deadpool. And Ryan Reynolds shared it to his Twitter. And he's like, "Yeah, skull poople."
No, but that's awesome.
It was
I mean, like I said, I saw like a quick snippet. And I was like, no, I don't want to watch it. But we can discuss more.
It doesn't show too much.
All right, fair enough.
It's a lot of Deadpool and Wolverine talking to each other, a lot of F-bombs.
Okay.
And you got to see it just for the end scene alone, where fucking where Wade and Blind Al are talking about cocaine. It's hilarious.
Word. But no, going back to just Brody's take on this, man. Like, I'm glad he said what he said, because there's always some things that maybe we didn't necessarily hit the beats on, and cinematography was one of them. And I feel like that is something that should be talked about, because not only did Jeremy Irons obviously did a fantastic job of portraying two different characters, but we got to give it to the cinematography department of actually like making us believe that there was two fucking dudes. You know, it's more than just the acting. Like, it's actually setting up the shots, getting a body double that's looks somewhat like Irons, so we can see a backside.
You have to.
There's no thought. Can't have a Danny DeVito, Arnold and DeVito situation. You know what I mean?
You can't. No, and that totally screams through. They definitely pulled that off in every aspect. There's not even a question about it.
And also, shout out, we didn't talk about, but was, like you mentioned, the surgical outfits, man. Because, like, first of all, even the first time we saw that, there's no way that I wasn't the only one that was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I've never seen surgical gear or anything be all red.
Bright red.
That's the first, like, what do we just... Are we doing a Deadpool thing where it's like, because you don't want the blood to show? So
that's a good possibility.
Pretty much.
And
the last thing I'll say in terms of, like, it's not a bad film, but and there's a lot of fucked up things. I look at the comments and such, but if I had to pick a movie where it was about drugs and really seeing some other fucked up shit, I mentioned it before, on a level that's just bigger than this, because it's a little more, to me, realistic, is Requiem for a Dream. It shows what people will do to get what they want to get. I know that's not what we're getting here, but in terms of how it affects them and the scary situations they put themselves in.
I don't know, man. I feel like the drug use in this hits pretty solid still, because you're showing two people that, like Brody said, were at the height of success for what they were, right? Mm-hmm. And they literally fucking nosedive that shit in because of drug use.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, I had the terrible analogy of, like, because I'm assuming this wasn't their first time of switch and baiting, or I don't know what you want to call it, or bait and switch of their female clientele. But it's definitely the one that, like, clearly Bev got like
under their skin.
she had that hoodie, dude. Like he was in love with that shit, dude. And that's why I think he went also over the overboards, because he, you know, she had that one that was completely different, and then everything else just seemed like fucking weird to him almost at that point. But I feel like they didn't explore that enough. Like maybe I was getting the wrong vibe off of that. But I don't know. Is there anything else you boys want to discuss on this? I mean,
Not really.
No, I would like to hear some of that behind the scenes of this.
all right, Chad Daddy, spread
I'll
them
do
cheese,
that.
boys.
So these shots of the twins on screen together were accomplished through one of the first uses of computer-controlled moving matte photography.
Really?
Hmm.
That's kind of cool.
That's good. That is cool. I like that.
During filming, Jeremy Irons kept track of whether he was playing Elliot or Beverly by always playing one with his weight on the balls of his feet and the other with his weight on his heels.
Huh.
Interesting dynamic of just
Si-
stature in the self.
Seriously.
That makes complete sense.
Mm-hmm.
Initially, also,
Weird.
Jeremy Irons had 2 separate dressing rooms and 2 separate wardrobes, which he would use depending on which character he was playing at the time. Soon he realized that the whole point of the story is you should sometimes be confused as to which is which, after which he moved to a single dressing room and mixed the wardrobes together and found an internal way to play each character differently, using the Alexander technique to give them different energy points, which gave them slightly different appearances.
Okay.
Interesting.
Mhm.
Man,
Especially like the part where he used 2 different wardrobes depending on which character he was playing at the time.
That is,
I mean, eventually we get to a point where it doesn't really matter because they're so fucking both
They're
doped
so
up.
intertwined,
yeah,
yeah.
they're so yeah. That's cool.
Robert De Niro turned down the Mantle twins roles because he felt uncomfortable playing a gynecologist.
That was the part that made him uncomfortable, not the creeping on women or anything like that, but just weird. What do we got here, Brody? What do you got?
Yeah, I'm reading that too.
Brody, I just can't believe how they were so intelligent, but not intelligent to fall in love with someone who wasn't attractive and fuck their lives.
Okay, dude.
She had that she had that ushy gushy, Brody. Like,
But dude, she was worried at the beginning about being able to conceive a child. And I'm looking at her like, you're like 50.
Yeah.
was
Like,
she?
I'm sure she wasn't, but she
She was
looked
definitely close.
Whoa, Bob Wet Robot. I was gonna say she looked like 32 to 35.
she looked rough.
Yeah, but she's an actress who had a drug problem, bro. We didn't know she had a drug problem at that time. But damn, we got Bob stroking out over there again.
It is the shit show. I heard that.
I heard the fuck.
The working title was Gemini. The studio didn't like it and switched to Twins. This idea was changed to Dead Ringers after Ivan Reitman, who had produced 2 of Cronenberg's early films, approached him about purchasing the rights to use the title Twins, and this title was then used for the Danny DeVito Arnold Schwarzenegger movie of also that year.
Hey, much more solid.
Yep, that's exactly it, Brody. Still no Bob?
It looked like he was good. He's got 3. He's got 1, 2. He's got 3 out of 4 bars. What the fuck?
I have no idea. Man. Welcome to Shit Show.
Yeah, welcome to
Continuing on.
the show.
William Hurt was David Cronenberg's first choice to play the twins. He regretted turning it down, but had a scheduling conflict. He later commented about turning down the role by saying he had a hard enough time playing one character, let alone 2.
All right. Damn, dude, that's crazy.
You good there, Bob?
Nope, he's in the red again. What the fuck?
Damn,
I don't
dude.
know what the fuck's going on here. I have no
Okay,
idea.
we can hear you.
We can hear you at least.
Internet is just like all over the goddamn place.
You might have to
Damn,
reset
dude.
the router again.
How many times I gotta keep doing that?
Shouldn't have to at all.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I did it twice.
All that. It's all that porn.
I don't even touch that shit on here or any of that.
I would say, so
Nonsense.
continuing on, Law and Order alum Jill Hennessy and her identical twin Jacqueline Hennessy both made their film debut playing identical twin escorts in this film. Yeah.
Damn. Well then.
Although that was a weird moment when he was like, well, you can call me this and then you can call me that. And it's like, what are we doing here, bro? Are you in love with your brother? What are we? I don't know what we're. I didn't know where we were going with this.
I think they were just showing us that was how much he missed having his brother around. I don't know.
Not the right time to be doing that. All right?
I think he liked putting it down with his bro. Like everything and anything he wanted to just do with his brother. I wonder if they had those like dueling like shitters in their bathroom.
Oh, they definitely did.
You know what I mean? Where they like literally just right across from each other. It's like battle shits.
You
Love it.
sunk my battle shit.
That's right.
The trailer was cut by 2 seconds in the UK to secure an 18 certificate. Trailers are certified more harshly due to their unbidden nature and lack of context. A close-up of Claire's hand being tied to the bed was removed from the trailer.
Oh, I could see that.
I guess I had
little
this feeling.
risque.
I just think it's really interesting that they're more restrictive on trailers than movies.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see that though. I mean, that's the reason why we have green band versus red band trailers. You know what I
Right.
mean? You don't want to show some kids some red band trailer accidentally. And, whoops.
Between takes during filming, David Cronenberg would have arguments with the rank organization over the phone, demanding to know why they hadn't sent money to continue shooting. I don't know what that is. The rank organization. I'm guessing
Okay.
they financed it.
Fair
That
enough.
sounds like a cult itself.
It does. Actually, it sounds like some evil corporation that like Spider-Man would fight against.
Yeah, that's all right. Continue, sir.
David Cronenberg played a gynecologist himself in his previous film, The Fly.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot he did.
Fuck yeah, dude. Now I want to watch The Fly.
I love The Fly.
This was his first film with his new cinematographer, Peter Sashitsky. Mark Irwin, who had photographed all of Cronenberg's previous films, was already committed to The Blob. Sadly, Cronenberg and Irwin never worked together again. Sashitsky has photographed all of his subsequent films.
Damn. That seems like a little bit more than just a falling out.
Seriously.
Whew. Although The Blob is a solid film, so
The Blob is a much better film than this.
Yes.
Although Dead Ringers closely follows the case of Stuart and Cyril Marcus, director Peter Greenway notes that Cronenberg queried him about his film, A Z and Two Knots, for 2 hours before going on to make Dead Ringers 8 months later.
I'm assuming that's another movie about twins.
Must be.
Okay. I was saying I've never heard of it, so we'll go.
Continuing on, Margot Kidder was David Cronenberg's second choice for playing the role of Claire Nouveau. Incidentally, Kidder had played homicidal twins in Brian De Palma's Sisters in 1972.
Never seen that one.
Yeah, it's out of my wheelhouse there.
Mhm.
All right.
It is the favorite Cronenberg film of Korean director Chan-wook Park.
I mean, dude, obviously a lot of people like this film because you were showing us lists that were it's like top 25 or top 50 or whatever the fuck, and it's just like
That's
what?
That total film placed Dead Ringers 35th on their list of 50 greatest horror movies of all time, while Entertainment Weekly placed it. This says 20th, ended up being what, 33rd on that list?
Yeah.
Top scariest movies of all time.
But dude, I'm telling you, out of the for 50 movies, you can't think of 50 better. I don't know, man. That's just a wheelhouse, I guess. I would not agree on by any means, dude.
I am with you 100%.
I don't even know if I would go top 200. Homie.
I was
like,
just
what the
thinking that.
fuck?
I was just thinking top 200 would make it.
There's movies that take this type of subject matter, forget the twins part, that make it more real, honestly. So I'm not saying the subject matter is not scary. It is. But there's other movies that do it better 100%.
Yeah, that actually make it scary.
Yeah, because it is scary. They just have a better idea of telling that too.
We're losing Bobby again, aren't we?
Maybe.
He is frozen. Oh, there we go. This is one of the very few Canadian movies by Cronenberg where he cast a Canadian actor in one of the marquee roles of the movie, that person being
Ooh.
actress Genevieve Bujold.
All right. Nice. Go Canada.
Fuck Canada. Hey, fuck you, buddy.
Blame Canada.
The movie was a box office failure in both the United States and in the home country of writer-director Cronenberg, Canada.
I'm just saying, man, I put myself in the seats in my head, and I just didn't see a lot of people rushing to go see that one. And like, I would have to watch how the trailer was cut to even see if it seemed enticing. You know what I mean? Because if the trailer's cut in a crazy way where you think you're getting some crazy like horror mystery or something shit.
Yeah, we haven't been.
Okay.
I can't remember the last time I watched a trailer for one of our movies.
Not since we stopped really probably doing this trailer on the show.
Pretty much, yeah.
I should watch the trailer, but the problem is like sometimes I feel watching the trailer before you watch the movie will ruin the movie depending on the trailer, right?
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I want to go into that movie fucking blind. So maybe that should be a thing where we just do it on the side, but then we talk about it still on the show. Like, did you watch a trailer for this thing and like what did you feel how it was edited versus how the movie actually was? What else you got, Chad Daddy?
The movie is based on two real-life twins, Stuart and Cyril Marcus. The two were found dead in their apartment on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Their deaths were due to withdrawal from barbiturate addiction. The story is told in the novel Twins by Barry Wood and Jack Giesland. It was published in 1977.
That's sad, but damn.
Very sad.
At one point in the movie, Irons' character fiddles with the idea of having a beauty contest for inner organs. The idea was later used and expanded at length by Cronenberg in his film Crimes of the Future.
I've heard that one's pretty good.
I have too.
That was his newer one, right? Like one of his newest ones. Interesting. Okay.
David Cronenberg proposed the idea of making a film about twins to Carol Baum at Lorimar in 1981. Baum told Cronenberg about Stuart and Cyril Marcus and sent articles written about the brothers and a book to him. Cronenberg found an article in Esquire about the brothers titled Dead Ringers. So that's where he got the title from.
Oh, all right. I like the titles. Like the title sounds like a horror movie title.
And finally, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I think that's just another one of the things that just threw me off.
Yeah. And finally, a dream sequence in which an aged version of the brother grows out of the abdomen of the other was cut by Cronenberg. He showed a version without the dream sequences, with the sequence, and with both sequences to test audiences.
So we could have got more creepy dream sequences, but we didn't.
Yeah.
See, I feel like that's what I needed.
That is what we needed, definitely.
I needed a little bit more of that, and I probably would have been a little bit more sold.
Dream sequences would have worked perfectly, especially if you're playing on the drug aspect too.
Exactly, dude.
Like
you go some crazy mind trip shit, dude, where they don't even you think it's like reality for like 10 minutes of a scene, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you wake up out of some drug-induced fucking stupor.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
That's it.
Thank you very much, Dark Lord. Appreciate that.
Yes.
All right, boys. I think we've all mentioned it before, but I'm going to ask it again. What format we watch this on?
Tubi.
Tubi as well. So 2 Tubis and a freebie. All right. Douche of the film. I got to give it to the brothers.
I got to give it to Claire. Give it to Claire. She's the one that started all this by getting the brother hooked on drugs.
Well, I mean, she
had Elliot not had slept with her, and then handed him Bev, this situation would have never. Well, no, I'm saying like, but handed Claire Bev.
I see. Never mind.
Right. So like, had they not just been skeevy and perving on their fucking clients, this would have never fucking happened.
Can I give it to all three of them? It's a 3-way tie.
I mean, if that's how you truly feel, absolutely.
I do.
I'm not going to say. I agree that she definitely got him
hooked.
I don't know if she did though.
Oh, she was feeding him pill after pill.
But he was the one who willingly took it before they had sex that second time.
That's true.
Because she was saying how it made him feel, how it made her feel, because he was trying to figure it out. And obviously he was towing that line. He's like, oh, well, maybe I want to feel that too. because that was after she called him out for having a girl's name, remember? And then he was going into that weird, like obviously that dude's got some issues on that. We didn't go any super much farther into that, and I think that's where his emotions at that time and what she was saying about, I'm not saying she wasn't a catalyst for it, but he's the one who took it willingly at first, knowing what potentially could happen because already being a doctor and knowing those, dangers.
Okay.
I'm going to go with almost Elliot and her. I'll tie those two.
Yeah, that sounds
I feel like,
more
I
real.
feel like Beverly kind of just got
He got
sucked
roped
into
in.
this. Yeah. Like he was
got
the
roped
dude.
in.
Listen, that dude would just be writing papers in the dark had Elliot not had his little fucking dick game going on.
And you know
even
something?
Elliot's. Go ahead.
No. Well, actually, I know we talked about. I don't. You're right. I don't think this is their first time switching the patients.
No,
but I think it's their.
Definitely.
But I think it's their first or Beverly's first time more involved sexually with a patient. Because he was the one who was working on her. Elliot's the one who would be taking them out, thinking it's him. So I think it's the first time Bev experienced that with a woman, because I don't think he's ever done it. They just bait and switch, like, I'm your doctor, but I'm taking you out to dinner. So I think that's where it really gets, like, this is his first time. Oh, now I'm fucked.
but like, right. And the way Elliot paints it is like he's doing Bev the favor. Like, listen, man,
Yeah.
if I didn't set you up with these fucking fish in the barrels, you would still be a virgin at this, and he gives him shit for it, where it's like, homie, don't pat yourself on the back for something that you think is good. It's not. You put him into a situation that's awkward and he's too shy to say no to it.
Yeah, Elliot was very manipulative of his brother.
Yes,
Oh,
he
100%. And he even admitted that Elliot said Elliot was the face of the practice, where Bev was the actual brains of the practice. And
Yes.
and that's why Elliot was so dependent on Beverly, even though Beverly saw Elliot as the leader almost. You know what I mean? Like, just because, like Brody said, he had the more external kind of personality. So,
Mhm.
all right. Okay, so we all got douche. Favorite kill? Didn't really fucking have much to choose from.
My interest in this movie was my favorite kill.
There you go.
It died halfway through.
All right. I like that. And like I said, I didn't even know the second brother actually was dead. I was just like, you could have told me he was just like crying over his brother that he like woke up to. He's like, oh fuck, I can't believe I did this. But alrighty. Best scene.
The opening scene with the little girl.
That was fucking hilarious, dude.
That was.
I'm gonna go with I like that one, but I think for my take, I'm gonna go with the surgical scene where Beverly is starting to go off the rails.
That's a close second.
That shit I'm agreeing with Brody, that shit got intense because you were just like, yo, man, are they really gonna allow this dude to use these instruments on this poor fucking woman right now? Like, Jesus Christ. And I'm glad we never went there. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, if it's a horror fucking movie, well, it might.
You know something? I'm going to agree with John on that. That scene is very fucking tense.
It was tense, man.
Yeah,
You're just like, because you're just looking at how gross these fucking things are, and you're just trying to imagine how they would fit, let alone what they are used for the human body in this dude's mind. It's like he never explained any of them. It would be different if he did, but we're just like left to wonder. And it's like, no.
I know. I'm looking at them now and I'm like, what the hell is that one on the far left over
Right,
there?
dude.
The one that looks like E. What the fuck is he going to use that for?
Right? Like, what in the fucking Beetlejuice sculptures do we have here that is just fucking.
I just love that he went to an artist and said, "Can you make these?"
Right? And that artist, he was like a little on the cusp, but then he's just like, nah, man, this is weird enough where I'm into this shit. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I like what you're putting down. Let's go. All right. Worst moment or scene.
For me, it was at the end after his brother died, and he's just walking around, Ellie, Ellie, and it went on for like 30 seconds, and I'm just like, shut the fuck up.
And you're like, bro, the body's right there.
That scene just drove me crazy. I just wanted to freaking just jump out the window or something at that point.
Brody said, fun fact, the artist that made
Yes,
the instruments was the lead in Scanners.
Yes, he was.
I would have to say worst moment is when we're in. It's such an oddball scene to me. Is when we're in the one room with Claire, and they're talking to like the director and that other lady about that show she's in, and it just was not needed.
Where she's just totally demeaning to that poor lady, the wardrobe lady.
Yeah, that just doesn't. I don't. Yeah, that's probably my.
Oh,
worst.
you're talking about when it's just her and Elliot in the trailer, and she's got the
No. It's before that.
It's when she's in her suite, right before Bev calls her,
Yeah.
and she's just totally ripping the wardrobe lady up and down for making her look like a $2 whore.
Oh, yeah.
I did, however, like the immediate follow-up to that when he calls and is talking to her gay secretary and just talking about shoving things inside her vagina and just
that was
roasting him,
hilarious.
Roasting him out to the point where he looks like he's going to throw up.
That was hilarious.
That was probably funny with someone.
Man, I don't know. That's the weird thing is like, even though I didn't really care for this movie, I can't necessarily think of a worst scene because they were all kind of. There was a couple that like stood out, but other than that, they were all just kind of the same, like very just talkative, deep talking states. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have a worst one, dude. Like, yeah, I guess I just don't have one.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I mean, I was pretty annoyed by the Ellie whining at the end, but that's also because I just think I was ready for this fucking movie to be done.
I think the reason is like my kids, especially my son, he'll just walk around, he'll just saying like banana over and over again, and it just reminded me of that, and I'm like, just Cameron, shut up.
Love it. All right. Did the opening scene hook you in? You know what?
Yes.
It did.
Yeah,
Yes,
we thought we were getting a completely different movie when we saw that.
Yeah. But so 100% there. Most attractive character.
Ellie's girlfriend, the redhead, that wanted to.
She was cute.
She was.
I feel like I've seen her in something else, but I couldn't place what the hell I've seen her in, dude.
I couldn't figure it out either.
I almost thought it was Uncle Buck's girlfriend for a second. But
I thought the same.
They
thing.
Had very similar cuts, and I think maybe that's what's throwing me off.
I'm gonna go with one of the escorts.
Ooh, damn it, Bob! I didn't even think. Ooh, god damn it!
I was still sticking with the redhead. At least you got to see her titties.
I like how Bob says one of them. You don't have to go one. Twins, bro.
One of the twins. I don't know which.
Oh man, I didn't think about that. Yeah, because that redhead chick, dude, she definitely wants 2 dicks at one time. So you know you're getting into some shit right there. Same time, she knows how to party. So we'll go with that one too. All right. Did the score set the mood?
I don't know about that one.
I honestly don't. I can't really recall any of the score.
Howard Shore is hit or miss for me with scores.
I mean, if it was melodramatic, I guess then I would say yes. So,
yeah, no.
I mean, maybe it did, but for me, man, my mood was just already meh.
Yeah,
so.
Same.
That's I agree.
Yeah. Do we have we don't have a song,
I don't remember there being a song.
Okay, I didn't know there wasn't one.
Throw that away. Favorite character?
The little girl that told him to fuck off. Hands down. Fantastic.
That was so great, dude.
That was a great song. God. I'm gonna go with the twins because just Irons just fucking he nailed it with them. So I mean they're not exactly like all around likable with certain things, obviously, but just in terms of characters themselves, he really just knocked it out of the park.
I mean, Irons would be the easiest one to pick just because he's got 2 different characters, but they both play really well into each other.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I'm gonna still say my favorite character, though, even if I had to split them, would have to be Bev, just because I feel like Bev gets the real short end of the stick in this whole fucking story. Like he's used, he allows himself to be used for sure, too. But then he gets to the point where like it's almost like the dude breaking up with his first girlfriend and he can't take it, so he's about to hang himself. You know what I mean? And I don't mean to like go to that level for anybody, and I apologize, but that's the vibes I was getting from him with this just downslope of drug use and everything else. So I'm gonna say it was him, man, because I feel like he, like, even though both brothers ended up like diving down into the drugs, like you see Beverly's descent more, I feel, than even Ellie's. Like Ellie's was a little bit more faster because he had to like catch up to Bev. You know what I mean? Because then they're on that same level. So, all right, that leads us to, was it scary?
Not at all. It was very boring.
I will say the deep existentialism of everything going on in the film. Yes,
but in terms of what we got on screen, well, except for a couple spots,
I'm just saying, like the brothers' original game plan of like essentially fucking raping women. I guess like that. I don't know how else to write that besides the shorthand of it. That
is horrifying.
Like I said, dude, that's a Law and Order episode right there, man. It's fucking.
See, I watch movies to be entertained, and this just did not entertain me.
You know something? I'm gonna go with what Gene said here. Creepy in terms of the whole undertone of what we just said. Not scary. Creepy in sense of what we were getting. So I'll go with that.
I'll take it. Does it hold up today? Well, it didn't hold up in '88, so I don't know. If it does for you, man, by all means. I'm not saying anybody's 100%. Worse for liking this movie or anybody's better for not or anything like that shit. You like what you like and you don't what you don't. So we're just here to see what we feel about this and say what we feel about this, you know?
Exactly.
All righty. Acting, I don't think we could give it enough praise already, but obviously Irons was fucking fantastic in this.
Irons was so good that everybody else looked like dog shit in comparison.
And they weren't even bad.
Yeah,
they weren't. Right. They weren't.
You're just like, yeah, you're like Scar's going through some shit, man. And you know what the fucking funniest thing is? And I'm sorry for putting her on blast, but my wife was just like, "Who is this?" And I was like, "It's the voice of Scar." She's like, "Oh yeah." She's listening to it, and she's like, later on we get done. She's like, "You know what?" She's like, "For some reason, I always thought Scar was a black guy." I go, "Why?" I go, "He sounds like an English dude completely." I go, "Mufasa's the black guy for sure." But
maybe she thought since Mufasa was, she just assumed that Scar was as well.
I guess.
I mean,
but James Earl Jones gave birth to Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and then that's what and he turned into Matthew Broderick. That's what we got. Okay, so fuck.
That's a fair.
Right.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the new remake of that sucked.
The live action.
I didn't.
The non-live action live action.
I was saying, can you even call it live action though? Like, I don't even know what you call it.
I didn't see it. I don't think
I didn't. I won't watch it.
I don't remember
that neither. They're pointless to me.
It was garbage. That's all you need to know. All right. Acting, yes. Cinematography, we also, I feel, gave 2 thumbs up. Is there anything else you boys want to say?
Not really.
No, I think I honestly, for the cinematography, I think Brody covered it. I mean, yeah.
And like I said, man, with the use of the twins, made me feel like it was actually 2 guys. Like, it was played out well, it was edited well. So
they did it, yeah.
Did we like the premise?
I don't.
You know what? No, I'm gonna say with this one, I didn't. This one was not. This one was not written for me by any means, but it's obviously written for somebody. So
I agree.
Yeah. I'm trying to find a redeeming part of it now.
I mean, Cronenberg obviously had an idea. He wanted to do something and wanted to try something. So I get it. You know, maybe he just didn't want to feel like he was ham-fisted into one direction. But yeah, unfortunately, at least for me, he is. And that being said, was the climax satisfying?
No, the climax was fucking stupid.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously the
Like
climax
one
is
brother guts the other brother, and then he just wanders around. And why
he cries
why
himself
did
to death.
why did he get all cleaned up, get all dressed up, just to walk outside, call Claire, hang up on her, go back inside, and die?
And also, I thought we were going to go back to something because he took that bag and left it there at the phone.
Yeah,
I was like,
Yes, he
what was
did.
in that bag?
I was waiting for like a bomb or something to go off.
Yeah, 100%, dude. And maybe that's just because what unfortunately we fucking have dealt with throughout life and movies and all
True.
that shit. But something. Was it the instruments? Did he, you know what I mean? What the fuck is going on here, dude? Like, and it's a noticeable thing because he's carrying around that big ass bag, and all of a sudden he just kind of meanders fucking back in. So,
And
Yeah,
next thing he's naked and dead. I don't get it.
not in any way, shape, or form satisfying.
No.
And we already knew the ending before we even got the ending because they told us what was essentially going to happen with the story.
Yeah.
They're quoting it from memory. That being said, recycle, rewind, remake, reboot. God damn it, I'm fucking recycling this bitch. Dude.
Recycle.
I haven't said that in a minute, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll recycle.
I mean, they did remake it as a series with Rachel Weisz,
which
I'm curious.
I don't know, man. I hate series though. I hate
don't know.
I hate how series elongates over dramatization of shit. So
I'm a
it's
movie
like,
guy, not a series guy. Yep.
yeah. So it's like, to me, I feel like that would be even worse. Like the first episode probably fucking pulls you in, awesome, right? And
Dude,
then the next 3 suck ass.
Dude, I still haven't watched Fallout just because I would rather see it as a movie than a series.
Everybody says,
and I know it's great.
dude.
Yeah, I've been hearing nothing but great things.
All righty, boys, let's rate this bitch. Now, I know Brody started it off high, and that's fine because you know what? Brody really enjoyed this movie.
What did he
4.2.
Okay.
So he set the bar decently high. Once again, this is Brody's bag. So by all means, Bob, as for your first time watch of this movie, what would you give this out of 5 gross surgical instruments?
For some of the redeeming qualities which we talked about, I can't go higher though than maybe a 2.8.
2.8 from Mr. Monet. Being generous. Yeah. Chad Daddy, what do you got, homie?
Despite the fact that Jeremy Irons really nailed the role and really knocked it out of the park, I did not enjoy this movie. I can't give it any better than a 1.
Ooh, wow.
I did not enjoy this movie.
Damn. Okay, so Chad went with the low assault. Damn. All right, so now I got to be honest with myself.
Yes.
I did not enjoy this movie. This movie was a bore to me. It felt like a chore to get through.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand we stated this before, but it had not been for Jeremy Irons' amazing acting throughout this film and just generally making you interested in both of his characters, I would have turned the shit off and probably just looked up a plot synopsis, dude. And I have never done that in fucking the 5 years I've been on this show.
Kind of like Bobby when he through Behind the Mask.
Which I don't even know why. That's a great fucking movie. God damn it.
Because I was tired and on a time crunch.
I mean, it's one thing if you've seen it before and you're like,
and I fucked up.
I don't know if, see, and the thing is, like, I'm trying to remind myself, like, because, like, I want to kind of judge it how a movie is, but that's not how we do things here. We judge things based off our entertainment value and where we were truly entertained. So for that, but I was entertained by the acting. Like I said, it kept me going through it. I'll go a little higher than Chad Daddy. I'm going to give it a 1.5.
Okay.
So that being said, we don't have a scuba score because that motherfucker got out of it.
He owes us a score. He's watching us. God damn it, Mel! I know you're listening somewhere.
I hope so.
Mel, Pirates, get him to watch it.
One of the times you tie him down, make it worth your while and make him watch this piece of shit movie.
And get duct tape.
Or oh my god, what would be worse though? This or the extended cut of fucking Oh my god, dude, the waterfalls
Just Before Dawn.
Oh,
just before dawn. Yeah.
Dude, I would watch the extended cut of that 10 times before I'd watch this again.
probably, yeah. I
You know
agree.
what? I would, because I could laugh about it wholeheartedly now, just reminiscing about talking about it the first time. And yeah, absolutely. So, anyways, going back to what our score is, we have a 2.375. So that is a 2.4 for
That's
1988
Bobby was closest.
Dead
yeah,
Ringers.
I think that's fair.
Okay, now this is where I kind of wish we had Scubas, because I was going to bring in a group vote. Because next week was my pick, I believe, if I'm
Yes.
not mistaken, correct? With
Yes.
Poltergeist 2. Now, not opposed to still doing that, because I haven't personally watched it in a long time. But there was a movie I watched not too long ago, and I absolutely loved it. And I think I remember Bob watched it, and I think
Yes, I
got
did. I
Brody to
watched
watch
it
too.
the day after you talked about it.
And this is something that I was thinking of maybe swapping out for next week if everybody was potentially interested. And that would be I Saw the Devil from 2009. Completely two different movies, obviously.
Ooh.
This is not swapping one out for like another Poltergeist movie or anything like that. This is...
Oh, I did like that movie very much. I like
This
both.
is one where it's going to be a solid talk about, because like this movie this week, I don't necessarily know. I could call it more horror, definitely, than this
Oh,
movie.
yes.
But I don't know if I would still continually put it in the full realm of horror, if that makes sense. Because it's more than that. Oh, see now, yeah, because I don't know. It was an option. Like I said, I wish Scoobs was here for the vote. But I mean, what do you boys think? I'm not opposed to either one. It was just
I say we stick with what we have, only because Scoobs isn't here.
fair enough. So we don't get a full party vote.
No,
that's fine.
I agree with that just because he's not here. But if he was here and it was, I would say I Saw the Devil because it was great. But I do love Poltergeist 2 also.
The only reason I was thinking is just because like it's something we haven't done. It's a forward film too, which is also a little different of a wheelhouse for us. And it still kind of fits in almost to where how this episode or this movie could have been a crime drama. Wow. That movie definitely can be a crazy crime drama.
Looking ahead, because of the way everything is scheduled with our Nightmare on Elm Street movies and everything, John,
yeah,
you don't have another pick until June 17th.
God damn. If that happens though, whatever.
I mean, because we've got, next week is your pick. Then we got The Dream Child, Body Snatchers, Evil Dead Rise, High Tension.
Who picked High Tension? I didn't pick High Tension. Bob did.
Yeah,
no, I did.
Because I know that was one that I was thinking of. That's the French one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we got Freddy's Dead. Then your pick.
See, and now Ready or Not, I have not seen, and that's one I've been wanting to see. And I heard it's
Ready or Not
pretty good.
movie.
I mean, we could always get rid of The Dream Child because it's absolute dog shit.
No. Yeah, but you can't.
We can't go this far into the series and then
I know.
number 5. All right, hold on. Before we make, I agree though. Now that you said that, with Scoob not being here, we probably should wait. But let me check to see where we can even watch Poltergeist, because you know what? Maybe that's one where I keep that completely on the back burner if we can't find something.
We really should check and see. I feel like it is.
It should be.
So it says YouTube premium subscription, Hulu premium subscription, Roku premium subscription, Amazon premium, and you can rent it everywhere else.
What's the premium subscription you need to watch it?
I don't know, because YouTube is the first one that pops up.
I see YouTube
Primetime subscription. That's primetime subscription. I don't know what the fuck that would lead to, but it's on there. I don't know what the premium subscriptions are though.
Same. That's weird.
Yeah, because usually it would tell you some.
Let me get on my Amazon real quick and let me see.
But I mean, I haven't seen Poltergeist 2 in a long time, and the reason I put it on there is because I'm in agreement with fucking Gene. That old dude creeped me the motherfucking shit out all the time as a kid.
Oh, you mean Joe Biden?
Yes. Yes. God damn it. But all right, so
Okay,
all right,
so
we'll
I'm
stick with
looking right now on my Amazon. I'm not on Prime. I'm just like on the
Yeah,
Prime
yeah,
Video. I
yeah,
just
yeah.
pulled up Amazon, and usually there's a link to watch it on. Okay, you can rent it for $3.99. It's Cinemax. That's the premium subscription.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Prime Video, $3.99 to rent, $14.99 to buy, or free with a Cinemax trial on Prime Video channels.
I didn't even know Cinemax was still a thing, bro.
Right? You thought it would merge with HBO Max.
I thought it would because now
the Cinemax
HBO
one
Max
would.
is called Max. So
Yeah.
now you got Max and Cinemax. What the fuck, bro? I can't do that shit. That's mine. That's confusing.
Too many subscriptions.
Yeah, for real. All right, so Poltergeist 2, other side next week. Actually, this I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I think this was kind of a request from my sister. She was asking if we did this, and I was
I
like,
think
"No, we
you're
didn't.
right.
I'll throw it on."
There you go.
So, all righty. Hopefully we'll have Scuba with us next week. Other than that, is there anything nerdy we want to talk about? I know the Deadpool trailer was dropped,
And it
Yes.
looks awesome.
I
Really,
personally-
Bobby? Really?
letting it go, bud.
Whatever,
Letting it
buddy.
go.
Should have dropped them Cosby kids off the pool before the show.
Oh,
They weren't ready yet.
They weren't ready.
Skinamax
like-
Prime is what people need. Fucking right, Gene.
I don't have too much nerdy this week. Nothing's really popping out.
Same.
All right. Well, it's a nice, short, sweet episode. So just remember then Poltergeist 2, the other side for next week. Bob, you want to start us off, homie?
This is your killing machine, Bobby Amone, saying we'll see you next week for Poltergeist 2. Like, share, tell your friends, subscribe, and get it out there, people. We'll see you next Monday.
Yeah, buddy. And this is your Dark Lord of Knowledge, your Chad Daddy, way down yonder in the chat, Hoochie, saying join us next week for Creepy Joe Biden. Poltergeist 2.
I don't even know if you had to add the creepy to that, but
That's
all
true.
right.
Joe Biden.
That's fucking right.
Joe Biden.
And I am your not so mean Fluff Master Supreme, Big Johnny D, saying thank you once again, Gorehounds, for joining another fantastic, fun episode of the Gore and More podcast. Once again, catch Poltergeist 2 for next week. If you haven't, be ready. We're always willing to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments, if possible. Thank you, everybody who tuned into this evening, and everybody else who listens, man. Thank you. It means a lot to us, and you're the reason we do it.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
With that being said, hopefully we're back to full roster next week. Hopefully Scoobs is good to go, and he's going to watch this piece of shit movie. And yeah, I'm going to end it with always remember, stay fresh, cheese bags.
Go
Jeremy.
Brand.